Welcome back to My Status as an Assassin Obviously Exceeds the Hero. Anime review, episode number 2. I don't know why the dub for this one was delayed. I thought it'd be released a little bit earlier, but that clearly didn't happen. I guess they want to do a late thing. Okay, but at least I got a chance to watch it. So this episode is quite interesting to say the least. We do get a brand new character in this episode. Yes, this episode is called The Assassin Takes Care of the Wounded. So, we pick up right where last episode left off, where Okuda is taking a Minotaur, uses shadow magic, beats it, and of course the commander basically gets to calm out of it. And the hero, he can't break his curse, so basically he's just going to this particular area. He knows who possibly is casting the curse, so he proceeds to sneak in the room, slice the crystal, hero is basically freed. But here's the weird thing. It turns out that's actually not the only crystal. There's actually a whole cabinet of crystals, and it's cursing the entire hero, like the entire class, except for Okuda. He's the only one, because of course the princess doesn't know who he is. And then right afterwards, the spaghetti face was seen, and then the very next day, the commander he's been befriending since the previous episode is found dead with his knife in his chest. Except that he points out, though, obviously, that his knife was destroyed during attacking the Minotaur. Yeah, and by the way, it's the King Assassin did this. Probably because, basically, the guy has been with him a little too long. And apparently the class is you just randomly show up. A lot of them don't know who the heck he is. He's part of their class. And the hero points out, though, that he's not responsible for this. But apparently everybody's taking the side of one particular person, despite the fact that, yeah, his knife baby in his chest, but he has... Here's the thing. Here is one thing this episode fails to basically bring up. Motive. What motive does Okuda basically need to kill this commander? There is no motive. He was just randomly killed. They're probably paying attention. Oh, he killed him because basically gave him what she wanted, so because he's an assassin, kill him. He's like, no. Then he proceeded. By the way, he was told, obviously, the previous night that he needed to spend that before all this happened. He was told, don't sleep in the castle because they'll probably look for you. So he sleeps in a tree. And then after this is happened, he's accused, and he leaves. And the hero, of course, basically tells everybody that I'm going to go fight the Demon King. And the rest of the class is being so stupid because they're obviously cursed. Well, a lot of them are, but not all of them. By the way, before all the crazies with the crystal stuff, the commander gave Okuda a katana, which the katana apparently belonged to the first hero. If he gave it to the actual hero, it would cause him concern. But given Okuda, it's not really an issue. So, then of course, him and another guy who actually is a friend of Okuda's, because, get this, this guy and his sister and Okuda's sister are actually best friends. Oh, you're her big brother. Oh, it also kept the secret of the fact that he actually had a job. What was his job? Doing construction. Now, why in the world was he his secret? I have no idea. Commander says, oh yeah, where did he go, real bro? Well, obviously they can't have that because he's dead. So, then of course, basically, Okuda flees to a dungeon to train. Not a bad idea. So the heroes go the hero and his little party go look for them, while the rest of the class basically just sit on their thumbs. Well, sit on their hands, do absolutely nothing. Because, of course, they're puppets. Oh, by the way, when Okuda, after he smashed the crystal, sliced the crystal in half, he does ask the princess, why are you doing this? I do it for the king. Yeah, the princess is obviously brainwashed. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Isn't the princess the king's daughter? Then why is the king manipulating his own daughter? This makes no freaking sense at all. The king is obviously the main antagonist of the series. So Okuda goes to the dungeon, battles the monsters, and then, of course, one happens to be a chimera, which is combination of a snake, I think it was a griffin, I think it was, beats that, comes across a slime, which this is probably probably the biggest slime I've ever seen in these shows. Because normally these slimes very weak, never this big, the size of a person, Then he slices it, and out falls a beautiful elf woman. And after looking at her stats, this woman in particular, her name is Amelia Rose Quartz. And it turns out she's a princess. Because, of course, basically, he figured out to look at her stats. And she is voiced by Sarah Winehoff. As of this series, it is now the 45th show that I've heard a voice in. You're like, really? 45. Wow. Also, here's a fun little factoid. It is also the 4th show where the dub was released this for a year that she's been in. Actually, more like 5, actually. Well, you got I May Be Go Such by Solo Boss and Clock on Time. New dub this year. Black Butler. New Saga. Even give us World Spacer Class. I'm actually the strongest. That one, she's actually the voice of the youngest of all the sisters. And this show. So this is the 5th show this year. That's actually a show that came out this for a year. And also the fact that she's part of the dub. So before this year, it basically stuck at 40. Now it's at 45, which is awesome. Yeah, which you're probably thinking, wow, for me anyways, it's like, wow, she's catching up with Monica Rial. Currently sits at 49. Yeah, 49. What if 50th show? Who knows? So then, of course, he heals her, gives her some porridge. The scene itself reminds me a little bit of a scene from The World's Greatest Assassin. It's Reincarnated as Aristocrat, where he finds basically one of the girls he gets involved with, and to heal her up, basically gives her porridge. And he just, because he mentions, he's obviously experienced taking care of the sick, because take care of his mom, obviously. He does not tell her he's not worlder for some reason. And then, of course, despite the fact that she is fully healed, she proceeds to follow him down to the next level. By the way, when they first met, they were on level 75. They went back to level 69. And it turns out he's been carving numbers in English, mind you, not Japanese, English, to know what floor he's on. Which, very smart idea for him to do that. And then, of course, they battle another monster, which turns out to be a frickin' dragon. Yes, a dragon. And you're like, wait a minute. What wasn't the air show you just watched today? Didn't House feature dragon? It did. But that was in the first episode. Oh, and here's a little fun factoid with me. Guess how many shows where I've watched where you have a dragon pop up in the first episode? The answer, to my knowledge, this was the 3rd that I could think of, basically, for Galaxy Isekai, because it happened at Synchronized Slime, it happened in the episode of Slayers, yes, and now Galaxy Isekai. But this one, yeah, episode 2, not bad. And they battle a dragon, and they actually beat it, and then the episode ends with a blinding light. Interesting. And that's pretty much the episode in that show. Really good. And someone put it online after the first episode came out last week, where I was like, oh yeah, this show can learn from basically mistakes of Fairly Frame. And I responded with, by not overusing CGI. My response was, oh, maybe the pacing be better. I have kind of explained this a few times, Fairly Frame. For me anyways, the biggest problem with Fairly Frame wasn't the pacing. The pacing was never the issue. It's not the problem with the pacing, because of course you think, the show is very slow paced. Not really. The show proceeds at a pretty good pace. It's not like it moves at a snail's pace like another show I watched recently, where that happened. With that one, the biggest problem with the show was the over-reliance on CGI. They love using CGI in that show. This one, not really, no. I mean, yes, there is comparisons between this and Fairly Frame. Another big difference between these two characters is that, well, for one thing, he is cast aside not because he has weak skills. Oh no, that's not the reason, because he's framed for murder. I'm like, okay, that's different. So it's not copying Fairly Frame. It's more like it's copying other series with this one, but not Fairly Frame. It's like the only thing he has in common is the fact that basically the primary female lead of the show, which was in episode 2, mind you, is an elf. That is the only thing that the show has. Well, and the other thing it has in common is the fact Danny Chambers is voicing one of the characters in the show, which she's also in Fairly Frame as well. Except in that one, she voices the elf that's the lead of the show. Yeah. But otherwise, though, great episode, like I said. So, that's pretty much it particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, to notifications. Next, we have a Comic Corner, and it's back to solo leveling. Okay? Thanks, you. Bye.